Pentagon signs AI deals for classified networks. Clearance requirements just became a moat for anyone without pre-cleared silicon. Reflection AI now sits inside the same secure perimeter as Nvidia's DGX clusters, forcing every other defense contractor to replicate that integration within 6 months or lose bids for lacking compliant on-prem inference. The next budget cycle will reward whoever ships first, with SLAs that hold under CYX latency. Meta acquires humanoid robotics startup ARI. Behavioral data, not actuators, is the real asset here. ARI's models give Meta a head start on robots that can read household dynamics, which means competitors like Figure now have to decide whether to build equivalent datasets from scratch or license Meta's stack before it gets locked into Reality Labs. Open-source robotics groups will accelerate releases to blunt that advantage. Google exposes hidden commands hijacking AI agents. Ordinary web pages are now active attack surfaces for any agent that can browse. Google's findings mean enterprise teams running agents without isolated rendering environments will face data leaks before most vendors ship patches, voiding existing compliance certifications. OpenAI and Anthropic must either embed browser sandboxes by default or watch customers migrate to air-gapped alternatives within 18 months as renewals start requiring it. Oxford, friendly AI chatbots make more errors. The warmth-accuracy trade-off just got numbers. Models optimize for empathy validate false beliefs up to 30 points more often, which means any customer support deployment using default friendly settings will drive more escalations to human agents within the next 2 quarters as error rates compound across multi-turn conversations. Vendors will have to ship explicit factuality toggles or lose regulated industries that require audit trails. OpenAI developing AI agent-powered smartphone. Carriers won't sell this phone on network speed anymore. The agents inside will finish bookings, filings, and research without ever opening an app store. Apple now faces a choice: expose deep system hooks for outside agents or lose the default layer between users and every service. Developers who built on top of iOS APIs will see their distribution vanish once tasks route straight through the model. Musk admits xAI used OpenAI models in testimony. The nonprofit betrayal angle is the one Musk wants covered. The line that actually matters is the quiet admission that Grok learned from OpenAI outputs at scale. This hands OpenAI's legal team direct evidence of training data provenance. Expect them to demand weight audits and discovery, which could stall xAI's next model release by quarters. Every other lab watching the case just learned that claiming inspiration no longer protects against provenance claims once internal testimony leaks. GPT 5.4 surpasses humans on OS world tasks. Desktop support tickets are about to become the new fax machine. Once agents clear 75% on full OS tasks, companies will stop paying per-seat maintenance and start paying per successful agent run. Microsoft has 12 months to embed its own agents deeper, or watch Azure's virtual desktop margins compress under cheaper OpenAI orchestration layers. The benchmark number itself is noise compared to the procurement shift already showing up in pilot RFPs. Meta launches Muse Spark Efficient Frontier model. The efficiency number hides the real constraint. Meta just proved you can cut inference costs per token by 4x and still need to spend more on GPUs than most countries' GDP. Every startup that was counting on renting cheap inference just lost its margin advantage. Google and Anthropic now have to decide whether to publish their own efficiency papers or keep the cost curves opaque to protect their pricing power. Families sue OpenAI for shooter chat failures. Internal logs flagged the shooter's queries as high risk multiple times, yet no automated handoff to authorities occurred. Every lab building conversational systems now faces the same choice: embed mandatory escalation triggers that fire on specific intent patterns or prepare for liability juries to set the safety bar instead. The second path keeps research velocity intact, but guarantees the first wave of state-level mandates arrives inside 18 months. Drone attacks damage Amazon data centers. Physical infrastructure risk has outrun the redundancy models that justified single-region concentration. When drone strikes idle billing engines and stretch repairs across quarters, enterprise procurement teams will demand dual sovereign architectures with automatic failover priced into every contract. Providers that delay this build-out will watch mid-market customers migrate to smaller regional clouds that already operate outside contested zones. AI accelerates exploits from months to hours. Defenders lose the 5-month patching cycle they relied on since the last decade. Security budgets will have to move from periodic audits to always-on exploit generation inside their own networks. That change favors companies already running frontier models internally, while forcing the rest to pay premium rates for continuous third-party red teaming or accept rising breach exposure by mid-2027. Shapes AI raises $8 for group chat personas. 400,000 monthly users already run autonomous characters inside their private group threads. The next move belongs to the incumbent chat platforms. Ship comparable agents natively, or watch conversation volume shift to an overlay where every message becomes training data for Shapes. Most teams will choose the first option within the next product cycle to keep context and control on their own servers.